Hi there, everyone. It is currently the 11th of November 2011. Therefore, it is 11/11/11 today. But out here across the Western Pacific, we have several areas we're continuing to watch today. First and foremost is the remnants of Tropical Depression 24 whiskey moving across Japan currently. Center of circulation is just northeast of Shikoku at this time. You do have a warm front branching off of it here, and with extending cold front. Not very an active storm right now. It's more of an active storm. That means that the precipitation associated with this is going to be light, but over a lengthy period of time out here across much of Honshu. And if you are located anywhere up and down Japan today, you are seeing these rain showers associated with this area of low pressure. Also noting, there is an area in the tropics we're watching today. This is an area of convection just south of Guam. Actually, this is where it's located, right in here. At this time, NRL does not have an invest out with this, but it is expected to drift off towards the west-northwest here. And actually, one of the models, specifically No Gaps, does expect this to develop into a low pressure system and make landfall here just along the east coast of Asai. So it could bring some heavy precipitation here by the latter part of this week and into next week. And if we look at this model outlook here from No Gaps, as already noted here, you have the center of convection currently located just south of Guam. But if we look at the next several frames, you do see this start to spin up here as it drifts off towards the west-northwest. Once it gets north of 10 degrees north here, that's when it starts to encounter that increase in Coriolis force. Therefore, you start to see more of a rotation with it, that cyclonic rotation. And then by Tuesday and into Wednesday, you start to see it make landfall here along the southern portions of Visayas. But overall, though, it looks like this is all going to affect most of the Philippines if it does follow this precipitation pattern being displayed on this particular model. GFS, the other model I like to use, not so strong in developing the system, but if it does follow this one, you do expect to see some rain showers up and down the Philippines by the mid part of next week. That, if it does affect in the afternoon and the evening hours, it could increase the effects of afternoon thunderstorms out here. So definitely have to keep an eye on the system into next week as it does potentially develop. But at this time, nothing really being displayed out from it right now. Actually, JMA not even calling that a low pressure area. You do have some obs down here actually reporting thunderstorms just south of Guam. But outside of that, a very broad troughing of low pressure really just being showed. But you also do have this area of low pressure here actually being displayed on this map. It's located just south of Kyushu, but this was at 0 UTC time, or 0900 India. At the time of this updates, it's actually right about 1600 India. So by this time, this area of low pressure is located right up in here as it moves off towards the northeast, riding the subtropical, or the polar front jet here, which is dipping down out here across Japan and then running off here towards the northeast as well. So you're going to expect that to continue to follow that jet and push off here. And then behind that, high pressure is going to ridge in, cooling temperatures down here for a brief period of time over the weekend. But really expecting a cool down here by next week, specifically on Tuesday and the Wednesday. We're going to be seeing another area of low pressure run through. And if we go back to that no gaps model, but this one's going to be a little bit different. The last one was showing precipitation and surface pressure, but this one shows the surface pressure combined with the 500 millibar thickness. And what this really kind of tells you is where the polar front jet is located, and that's actually right in here where these lines are packed, the dashed lines that is. But it also shows you advection, and that means the transport of warm or cold air. And if we look out by Tuesday into Wednesday of next week, see all these lines, the straight lines pointing up and down, that's that surface pressure. And then you have this thickness lines going left to right. Well, that means that really cold air is going to be pushing along the surface pressure towards the south, and that thickness is going to be pushed towards the south as well, and that is really displaying colder air. And actually, this 540 line and the 528 line is one of those lines that we typically use as meteorologists to judge if it's going to snow or not. And with that cold air coming out of Siberia, definitely potentially going to see some snow out here in Hokkaido. Think it's going to be a little bit too dry to see it down as far south as the Kanto Plain, but with this really does mean is that you could see temperatures into the single digits, even near zero out here across much of northern Honshu. Shikoku, you probably will fare out here as far south as Kyushu as well, but if we continue to follow this, it does dip as far south as about the Kanto Plain before it starts to push back off towards the north as that warm air advection from the western portion of this high pressure starts to push that warmer air off towards the north as well. So just a little meteorological fact there, and just kind of displaying what we look at when you're trying to judge temperatures. Now moving away from that colder weather back to the tropics here down around Australia, we do have the monsoonal trough extending from Papua New Guinea out here across the Solomon Islands, out in even parts of New Caledonia was seeing some rain showers here earlier today. It's since been cleared up. Also, we do have thunderstorm activity along northern Australia. Actually, you see this big white area here, white and red. Well, that's indicating a severe thunderstorm out there right now. So also continuing to watch that. It's all associated with a trough, a low pressure extending out there all the way out towards Queensland. It's really kind of found right here along the line I'm drawing right in here. That's a big trough of low pressure that's producing rain showers out across the region. And what this is indicating to us, it's the start of the wet season and the monsoon season in Australia. But this is just looking at the surface analysis and the forecast over the next several days being produced by the Bureau of Meteorology, showing that trough of low pressure currently extending out here across northern Australia down to Queensland and even parts of New South Wales, seeing that rain showers as well. And also you do have low pressures running here across the bight out towards Tasmania. Those are atypically this time of year, just seeing those roaring 40s lows, we kind of call them down here, running across that region as well. So just nothing to keep an eye on here across Australia, definitely with those increase in rain showers out towards the north. But looking back off here towards the north, I leave you with this radar imagery out of Japan, just showing these areas in red and yellow, indicating some thunderstorm activity just southwest of Tokyo, so you could see those move on through here in the near future. But that is all for right now, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, as usual, please post them in the comment box below. I always do appreciate that input if you do have some. And as always, stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.